Welcome back. Real Tough Talk back in the building. Obviously, you can see we going live here. We're wearing different clothes because it's a different day. Just let y'all people know. And I see the video, you know. So what's going on, people? What's going on, my people in Facebook land, you know? We about to go live, talk about the game. We don't expect a lot of people to be on here because we know they're watching that new edition. I should be watching it now, too, with my wife, but it's all good. You know, we got to pay the bills. We got to put in work. And what did you think about the new edition stuff? Did you see it?
Not yet. I've actually been, you know, doing the editing of the other half of the videos and stuff like that. So I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch everything. But again, like you said before, we have DVR.
Right.
And I don't know if anybody knows about the new the Android boxes that's out there that you can record stuff too. So, you know, I'm about to use that tonight so that I can watch it later on. But I just want to get back to the whole paying the bills thing. I liked how you said paying the bills.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
We want to thank our sponsors.
Oh, my God.
From Members Mark Purified Water.
Oh, man. You do not stop.
If you want to be purified, have Members Mark. Just let y'all know, man. It's some great water, man. Y'all see me drink it all the time. I'm going to come out there with the shirts very soon. And, you know, got to represent the brand, man, to pay bills.
And you're going to get sued.
Why would we get sued? We showing them love, man.
It doesn't matter. It's not with their permission.
We showing them love, man. Listen, let me tell y'all some people, two things that I want to talk about Facebook real quick. Alex was good. Two things. One, a lot of y'all, when y'all put y'all pictures up, and especially when y'all putting your names up, you should put your first name, your nickname, and your last name. A lot of people don't know you by your real name.
Yeah.
So the picture, when you go live, your picture comes up so small that if the person don't know exactly your first name, they won't know it's you.
Yeah.
And I'm a victim of that. So
and you're already bad with names as it is. So that's
Fred said, where do we buy the water at? This water was bought in Walmart.
And Sam's Club.
Sam's Club, I mean.
Yes.
And it's Members Mark Purified Water. If you want water, you want to be purified, go get it. I heard it makes your game in football much better. You know what I mean? You should have athletes all over the world drinking it up. So y'all should go out and get yourself some Members Mark. You know what the Members Mark water was a part of? If you watch the movie Space Jam, you remember when Michael Jordan put the special water in the bottle? That's Members Mark that he put in there.
Well, it's Bugs Bunny, but
well, Bugs Bunny. It was Members Mark that he was giving the players when they got strong and they were.
Well, hey, listen.
It was Members Mark
but
water.
But I'm gonna say this: maybe with the new version with LeBron James,
right,
they may actually put that water in. I highly doubt it, but maybe they'll use it. I don't know.
Listen. That's just to let y'all know. That was the water, and Fred saying stop it. No, for real, it was in the movie. You know what I mean? They had, they had a deal to help sponsor the movie and all that. You know, I heard that they paid Porky Pig's salary and Bill Murray. They threw some money their way for the water. So, we're getting into the water business right now. And like I said, Members Mark Purified Water. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to tell you, I want to make an announcement, is a possibility that you may see your man Stephen J coaching the team. I got an offer to coach a team, that was fountain water. All right, we ain't gonna get into that. We're doing a Rep City YMM game, but I was offered a position to coach a team, and I've always, I've coached before. I've coached defense of Warriors before when we was in Brooklyn, and I think it's time for me to go back and give the opportunity to coach. And it's a different type of game, but I think I know the game somewhat, and I think we're just going over the deal and see what team we're gonna get and what league we're gonna go to. But it's a possibility you might see me coaching.
I mean, you might as well try your luck at coaching before you become senile, because you're already showing signs of age with you forgetting people's names and all of that. You're very horrible with that. So, like I said, before you start losing those brain cells, why don't you try coaching and seeing how far you get?
We're going to go in the game, but Michael looked like Ralph Travis from the New Edition movie. So when you watch the movie, when you look at him as a kid, look at Ghost, and he looks just like him.
Okay.
Just to throw that out there. He do look like him. Haircut and all.
You making me want to see it now.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into the game. YMM versus Rep City. Now, Rep City's coming in, winning their last 3. Last game they lost was to Riot Squad, 18-6. They played terrible. Then they come back, and what's impressive to me, and, you know, you got to talk about Izzy in his last 3 games. After only scoring 6 points, Rep City scored 19, 18, and 27. I don't got all the stats in front of me, but that got to be the highest point total in the 3-game stretch.
3 games, yeah.
So I mean, Izzy and that team is balling.
Yeah.
And like I said, Charlie should be up there for Coach of the Year because he has 2 guys playing, Izzy and he has Hood, 2 different quarterbacks, 2 different styles, keeping the egos together. D-Boy's out for the year. And D-Boy, you know, he's a good player. He brings a lot of energy. But, you know, he's able to go through that injury. And he have guys like Vic having a great year. Rel having a great year. Meech having a great year. These are guys that's all stepping up, and it's through the leadership of Charlie. Don't get me wrong. There's other. That's not saying Charlie should win it. You still got Hollywood from them Getters. He did a great job with his team. Yeah. You got to talk to the way 99 Problems is playing. You got to talk about Davi and talk about Coach Blaze. They're playing very well. You got to talk about them. I was mentioning Pig, but because that team lost 3 in a row, you know what I mean? It's hard to really put them up there. You know, I think SuperFriends, even though they went out and got more talent, they lost more games this year than they did last year. Yeah. So you have to say they took a step back. You know, Pam's is in the running every year. Yeah. Brian did a good job with that with Violators. Yeah. So it's up there. IOD took a step back. YMM took a step back. So, you know, it's going to be tough to talk about who. But I think the front runners you have to say is Charlie. You have to say is Charlie from Rep City. You have to say Hollywood from them Getters, and I like Davi and Coach Blaze from 99 Problem. That's just me.
I mean, again, I'm not gonna leave out Pam's from Carver Mobb,
right?
Because
always up there.
Their team, yes, they're always up there. But the main thing about that is they lost a lot of players.
No Boo Boo, no Nas.
Yes, and they still are. They still only have 1 loss this season. Yep. So they've been playing Carver Mobb football throughout. You know, regardless of who comes to the field, they were able to have other guys stand in for the ones that they missed, and they're playing at a high level. So that type of coach that's able to bring that talent in and keep this team moving, that's something that you have to mention.
And YMM, you know, this team trying to turn it around. You know, they haven't played great this year, but they've been playing a lot better. You know, who did they lose to? Exactly. Good call, Hollywood. Who did Carver lose to?
They lost them Getters.
Exactly. The guy that I said is a possible coach of the year. So the team that you talk about is hot. Lost to the team that I said should have.
But that's why. But I wouldn't take them away from the standings. Because,
of course,
you know, if they're play still. But you know, obviously Hollywood has the edge since they're the ones who beat Carver Mobb.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, listen, it's going to be a great season. I think Ghost is the best. That's from Danny. I think this year, and it's funny because we say this every year, this year was the most competitive year in UFL history, I would have to say.
And I'm going to say 2 things about the UFL this year. Lacked offense. Offense was way down this year.
Right.
The numbers are way down across the board. And defense actually stepped up this year.
Right.
Defenses have been playing a lot better. They've been locking up teams that even though they weren't really winning as many games as they should, they were still locking up on defense, and their scoring numbers were down. So those 2 things mattered this season, and that is why I could say that we had the lack of scoring, maybe because of the defense, maybe because offenses were struggling. But either or, that's the facts right there with the numbers.
All right, and the last thing that I want to say is let's get to the game. Members Mark, Purified
Okay, we get it.
Water. All right, we're going to jump right into the game. Second down, Izzy throws to Mach in the gap. It's dropped and picked off by Tim, giving the ball back to YMM. Now, this is great. Tim is finally playing ball. He's been out because he's been playing tackle. Team went to nationals. He was here early in the season. And it's great for YMM to get that player back. This is a big-time playmaker they need, and he's already making plays.
And, of course, in this game here, they kind of needed that type of play from a taller defender.
Right.
Since they lost Bones this week. He don't have him this week here. So Tim is there to stand in for him. And right off the bat, ESG is able to make a big play on defense to get their offense on the field.
Second down, Corey throws deep to X on the sideline. Off target, incomplete. Third down, Corey gets blitzed by Meach and throws short to Rico. Passes blocked by Meach, incomplete. YMM have to punt. That is a great stop by this Rep City defense. They've been balling out. You got to give them credit, and I think Meach has to be up there for the Johnny Rockstar Award. The guy plays with energy every single down. He does not take a play off, and I think he should be up there for a nominee for that award this year.
And when you have somebody like that blitzing in, you notice the scheme that Rep City runs. Bleach is probably one of the best linebackers that's on the blitz, so you got to see that coming. They don't give no protection to Corey, regardless of what blockers are there. They're not prepared for Bleach's blitz, and that is why that's caused that turnover.
Second down, Izzy on forward rush, throws around the middle. Passes tipped by Kaka, incomplete. Third down, Izzy gets blitzed and sacked by Kaka. Kaka gets through Cello here to sack Izzy. Rep City after punt. Now, you know, Kaka's not really been known as a big-time blitzer in this league, but he shows the power. And one thing, Cello is a power blocker, but he seems to struggle with more athletic pass rushers, and Kaka is athletic. He's small, he's fast, got some power, and that's a big play by him to get the sack on Izzy, forcing Rep City to punt. After two passes for a decent game, Corey gets blitzed by B-Dot, who's blocked by BX. Corey throws X in the middle end zone for the touchdown. Brandon gets the extra point, 7-0. YMM takes the lead.
And this is an impressive pass right here. When you give Corey some time, he can show you the arm that he has. And that's a very accurate throw because Hood was on X with the tight defense, but he's still able to get the pass through only where X can get it. Like I said just now, he was given time by BX, blocking B-Dot of all people. That is impressive in and of itself, and Corey makes that nice pass.
B-Dot is not really known as a defensive guy. He's not really known for blitzing. He's more of an offensive blocker.
The point is, it doesn't matter.
I'm not going to give him. You want to bake him a cake now?
Listen.
Because BX blocked him?
Listen,
he's not a great
It doesn't matter. The guy has size to get through most people, so it doesn't matter. That is an achievement to block somebody like B-Dot blitzing in, so you got to give him credit.
Third down, Izzy on forward rush, throws deep to a wide open Beasky in the gap. Beasky catches it, runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. Beasky was left wide open deep. Victor gets the extra point, 7-7. Rep City strikes right back. And I like this by Izzy. He takes the challenge of seeing what Corey did, and he said, okay, you want to show? I'm going to show you what I can do. And he scores right back on him. They got miscommunicated on the YMM defense, but that's not Beasky's problem. He able to come up with a touchdown.
And I'm not going to take too much credit away from Izzy, but Beasky was wide open. The defense was caught sleeping. There were no safeties in the backfield. And if you look, one person's missing guarding nobody. And I'm going to point him out. Brown is here at the linebacker position. He's guarding nobody. He doesn't shift, and that's why everybody else has to compensate, leaving Beasky wide open in the backfield.
And it's a shame because Brown been playing well this season.
Yeah.
So to see him make the mistake like that is kind of mind-boggling to me. Second down, Corey on forward rush, runs a nice gain near the 50-yard line. Last down, Corey on forward rush, throws to Rico on the sideline for the first down. Second down, Corey throws to Brandon in the middle, picks up a nice gain. Third down, Corey gets blitzed by Meach and throws to Brandon on the sideline for a decent game. Corey's moving the ball, and now they call him the professor, and I got to give it to him. This guy is able to put all the chemicals together, get all the recipes together, and now we got to see if the formula is successful. Last down, Corey finds Rico cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Beasky gets the interception, though, but it's 13-7. YMM takes the lead.
And this drive is pretty much what made this happen. You give Corey some time to collect himself and set up a game plan for the offense.
Yep.
And you see Brandon's name being called on a lot of those passes.
Yep.
He's been stepping up and being a playmaker for this team, and that is why the offense was able to move all the way into the end zone.
Second down, with a few seconds left, Izzy throws deep to Mach, one-on-one with Brown on the sideline. Mach with the nice catch in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Kaz gets the extra point, 14-13, Rep City strikes right back.
And as well as Brown has been playing this season, that was a mismatch with Mach. Mach has the greater size advantage, and that is why Izzy took the challenge with making that throw there. That was a one-on-one with Brown, and like I said, Mach had the advantage. Any quarterback is going to make that throw, and that's why they score a touchdown here.
And it's halftime. That's going to take us into the half, 14-13. Now, if I'm YMM, first of all, I'm frustrated because I let them score. I let Rep City take the lead with a few seconds left. So I'm frustrated about that. The next thing is Brown is getting beat today. I have not seen Brown play this bad all year long. I was saying, Jeremy didn't have the exact season that he's usually used to having because he wasn't here for a few games because he was playing in LES. As far as I know, I think it was LES. Then Rico wasn't here because he was working. So Brown was one of the main guys stepping it up. I would say he was a definite all-star. But the way he's been playing this game, he's playing like a guy coming off the bench because Rep City's going right after him, and they're showing the reason why.
And Rep City is going to take the challenge whenever YMM gives it to him. And that's exactly what's been happening. Izzy's been accurate in this game so far, finding his receivers and taking whatever the defense gave him. So far, the defense gave him 2 touchdowns. We're
going to jump into the second half. First down, Corey throws deep to Brandon on the sideline. Big game first down. Corey on 4 rush throws deep to Santana, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Cecil gets the extra point. 20-14, the professor strikes right back.
And we have a situation here. I think we're having a shootout on our hands. And we haven't had that. We haven't had that all season since we've been having lack of offense this season. But this is an exciting game. Pretty much both quarterbacks is firing back and forth.
Absolutely.
And right now, Corey's taking the advantage here because Rep City is not locking up on this defense.
Yep.
They're not having any. They haven't. No ideas of how to stop Corey at this point, and Corey's just moving them as long as he can.
Third down, Izzy throws a Macho in the gap for a decent gain in the first down. Brown is flagged for the illegal hit. And if you look here, that's because of the frustration. He got beat twice for 2 touchdowns. Now the frustration comes, and you start making mind-boggling penalties, and that is a big flag that they're going to get. That's a 15-yard personal foul, and you can't do that to your team because what happens? A few plays later, Izzy finds Victor in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Santana lets him go. Nobody picks him up. 20-20, Rep City ties it right back.
And this defense has been lackluster in this whole game. Yes, the offenses are playing well, but right here you see the defense making a mistake here. Santana, as soon as he goes off of Victor, not calling somebody else to pick him up, that's when Victor's left wide open and Izzy sees it right away. That is a great eye by the quarterback, Izzy.
After getting the first down, Corey on 4 rush throws to Tim in the gap, picked off by Mach. And now we see the professor finally get his remedies wrong. He made a bad throw. It was picked up by Mach. You got to take your time. They just got the first down. Terrible mistake, and we see Corey make his first mistake in the game.
And this is an impressive defensive play by Mach. Reading the play, reading Corey's eyes and seeing where he's throwing the ball and going there and taking the ball from the receiver. That is a way to be a defender and to bait the quarterback into making that throw. And we're seeing Mach stepping up on defense as well as offense in this game.
Second down, Izzy gets blitzed and sacked by Rico. Third down, Izzy throws deep to Hood on the sideline. Underthrown, picked off by Josh. Giving the ball back to YMM. And that is a great play by Mach. He has to be one of the guys we talked about for Johnny Rockstar Award. This is another guy that gives you everything he got all day long. And that's great that you see 2 candidates, Meach on Rep City with a sack and Josh on YMM with the interception. Both guys are balling. Both guys are doing what it takes, and that's a great play.
And that's the position they're given, especially Josh here. He is pretty much the defense's energy giver. He's the fire of this defense. And I would say he's one of the hearts and souls of the team because he's the one that gets them going. He's always fired up. He always makes a big play in the middle here, and this one is no different.
First down, Corey throws to Tim in the middle for a nice gain. After getting the first down, Corey throws to Tim in the middle for a decent gain. Third down, Corey scrambles on 4 rush, throws to X in the back of the end zone, picked off by Mach, giving the ball back to Rep City. That is a great play by Mach, and 2 consecutive plays we've seen the professor throw interceptions, and you can't be playing like this. He's killing the team right now.
And it seems like right now he's being desperate, and he forced that pass. Yes, he saw X in the back of the end zone, but that was not an accurate pass whatsoever. Mach was waiting for it right in front, That play was short. If you're going to make that throw, we always say it, you got to be accurate. He wasn't here and it led to interception.
Second down, Izzy throws the hood in the gap for a decent gain. Third down, Izzy gets blitzed by Rico. The pressure, he throws it to Beasky in the gap. It's high, picked off by Santana, giving the ball back to YMM. I guess Izzy wanted to show what you can do, I can do. Corey threw a touchdown, he threw a touchdown. So I guess now Corey threw a pick. He felt like he had to return the favor, and both these guys are throwing the ball all around the field.
And they're matching each other play by play on both sides. When one scores a touchdown, the other scores a touchdown. Now it's when somebody throws an interception, the next quarterback has to match up. I don't know what's going on in this game. First it was a high-octane scoring game. Now it's just a turnover match back and forth.
After getting the first down, Corey throws to Brandon for a nice gain. Third down, Corey gets blitzed and sacked by Meach. Last down, Corey pitches to Jeremy, who throws it up. Incomplete, turnover on downs. This was a lack of offense. They didn't look like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
You got to take a chance to score. It's 20-20, and they make a mistake there, and they turn over the ball.
And obviously they had no game plan. They didn't have no way of getting through the defense, so they wanted to try their luck with the pitch play throw up. Remember, that's exactly the play that they used when they threw it to Wesley in the play prior to win that last game to beat the Browns.
Right.
So obviously to beat Riot Squad. Sorry, yes. So they tried their luck on this play. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them this time.
Now we go into overtime. 20-20 tie. Corey throws to Santana on the sideline. He cuts in the middle all the way to the 1 yard line. Next down, Corey finds Cessa on the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Victor gets the extra point. Victor intercepts the extra point. 26-20, YMM takes the lead.
But I think that even though that touchdown was big, I think that interception is going to come back to them because you need every point that you can get in overtime because that's going to come back. If the other team is able to score that point, that's the game given away because you didn't make yours.
But I got to still give the props to Corey to get the touchdown. Finally sets on the back of the end zone. The professor is definitely showing why he is a master of his craft. Yeah. He was able to drive the team down the field, finding Santana, and then finding Cecil, getting Cecil involved in the offense. That is a great play by him. 26-20, the defense just got a hold. After a short pass, Izzy throws a March open on the sideline for a nice gain. Third and goal, Izzy throws to Victor in the front of the end zone. Victor with contact from Brown bobbles the ball twice, then catches as he falls to the ground for the touchdown. That is a great play by Victor because Brown comes through with the body, but Vic is able to hold under the ball for a touchdown. And that's the third touchdown Brown give up. He cannot cover a twin-size bed with a queen sheet. He cannot cover it at all. His coverage was terrible today. I'm very disappointed in his play. He has not played like this all season. He looks bad today.
Listen, in his defense, he put the contact as much as he could in this one, and obviously Victor lost his balance, but he was still able to hold on to the ball. That is not an easy play to make.
How did Victor get the ball?
Listen, it was hit. It was thrown to him.
Victor should not have been open.
That wasn't his man, though.
Doesn't matter. You got to rotate. You got to see what... Brown is a physical receiver.
Yeah.
Defender. He has to find a way to knock this away from him.
But listen, if you're a defense, this game is not over yet. The game is tied. You got to stop this play in order to keep the game going. So it's not over yet. They have another chance to stop this next play.
For the extra point, Izzy rolls and finds Rel in the back of the end zone for the extra point, giving them the win. 27-26, Rep City. Jeremy and Santana both switch late, leaving Rel wide open. Rep City comes away with the win, 27-26.
And miscommunications on their defense has been killing them this whole game, and it came back to bite them in the end. They were never able to correct their timing, their communication, and that is why they end up losing the game by 1 point in overtime. You cannot afford to have these lapses in communication like this in games like this, because in the playoffs, it's going to send you home early.
And Rep City balling out. I mean, listen, they have won 7 games and lost 1. They just look like they locked up their division right now. So now everybody else is playing for second place in wild cards.
Yes.
Rep City has balled out. This team looks way better than they looked last season. They got their revenge against YMM. The issue is they still struggle with this team. They still gave up 26 points to YMM and won on a 2-point conversion. The same way YMM did it last year.
Yeah.
This team got to step it up. I love the fact that Izzy was in the zone. He threw his butt off this game. But if I'm Charlie, I got to make some adjustments because we did not look defensively. We didn't look great this game. Corey tore us up.
And that was the key because Rep City prior to this game has been locking up and playing defense. But this game shows different. They weren't playing their normal defense. They were not communicating the way they were supposed to. They were shifting in ways that they shouldn't, leaving guys open. And all around, their defense needs to be improved, and they have to pressure the quarterback a little bit more. Meach can't be the only one doing it by himself.
Why YMM? This hurts them. Why? This is a divisional loss. First of all, they have no chance of winning their division. Now they have to try to come in at least second or third so they can stay out the wild card. I think they're going to be a wild card team. That's just me personally. I think YMM is going to be a wild card team. They're not playing this week.
Yeah.
So what they would need is they need reps. They need Rep City to beat Street Fam. You'll see when you watch the show the whole way it got to go. They got to split their last two, and Rep City has to beat Street Fam in order for it to have an opportunity to get high. I think Riot is going to lock the number 2 seed, but I got to check the math, but we'll see. I like Corey. I killed him all year. These last few games, he has showed me something. He showed me his abilities. I mean, 26 points in a loss, 18 points versus Riot Squad. So the guy can put up points. Even though one of those touchdowns was off a Hail Mary, which he didn't throw. Jeremy threw it, but he still was able to put up points. I got to give it to Corey. Is he better than Nelson? That remains to be seen. We have to wait until after the end of the season, check their numbers, check the way the team is at in order to know. But we got to say that it's a possibility that Corey showed why Rico went out and picked him up for this team.
And at the end of the day, the record shows, that Corey had a shaky season in the beginning.
Right.
He didn't start off, guns blazing and anything like that. He had to get his stride going. He had to get used to the team. He had to get his flow going and his chemistry with the team in this league, at least, and on this field. Obviously, this field is like no other football field, so he had to get himself acclimated to the situation. And I think as they move forward towards the end of the season, I think that he's doing just that, but he cannot do it by himself.
Well, this is how it's going to go. Right now, Rep City is 7-1. They're going to lock number 1. Riot Squad is 5-3. Street Fam is 4-4. YMM is 4-3. And Browns is 3-4. Now, if Riot Squad loses to Dutchmen, Riot Squad will fall to 5-4. If the Browns win their last 2, the Browns go up and they can go over Riot Squad because they beat Riot Squad.
Yeah.
YMM can get back in the mix too if they win their last 2. Everything is up in the air for the division. The key is nobody wants that wild card game. Nobody wants to have to play 2 games in one day. The key is Rep City is locked in at number 1. Nobody can beat them. This game that they're going to play is a good game. They're going to play Street Fam, but the question is, do they send all their gunners out? Do they play hard? Street Fam needs this game, but Rep City don't.
So it's all on Rep City. They have the choice at the end of the day if they want to send all their guys to play hard and make sure that Street Fam loses, or they could just take it easy, let their guys rest up, let some other guys get some burn in this game and rest up for the playoffs. That's all on them. But knowing Rep City, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case.
Right.
I think the majority of the guys are going to be here and they're going to play. And they
Rel won't be here. They won't have Rel this weekend.
But I didn't say everybody.
Yeah, I
I
understand
said
what you're
their
saying.
core, their main people are going to be there, and I think that they're going to take this game as serious as any other.
And we're gonna about to wrap up live. But I'm gonna let y'all know the breaking news right now. You'll see it in the show flashing on the screen. You'll see it. You won't see it flashing, but I'm gonna let y'all know. What's up, bro? That's from Wise. Kenny, aka Agent Jack, the leader, the captain of SuperFriends, has a dislocated shoulder. Dislocated his shoulder up in City Island. He's going to be out for a few weeks. What impact does that have on SuperFriends?
That's hard to say because Kenny's obviously their leader, but he's also one of their best players on the team. So it can affect them in so many ways that it's hard to explain. The thing about it is they do have other receivers that they can also rely on.
Right.
Other people that they can rely on defense as well. So I don't see this team taking that much of a hit, but losing their leader, that I would say that it's fair to say they're commander-in-chief on the field.
Right.
That's going to, change the way they play because Kenny's one person that helps keep Dion in check.
Right.
And without Kenny there, it's going to be hard to see how Dion plays and if he's going to be as disciplined as he normally is when Kenny's on the field.
Now, this is how I look at it. First of all, he looks like a genius now on that pickup of Alex. That makes him look like a genius. Obviously, he didn't know he was going to get hurt. But having Alex on the offense actually helps them. Now, this is what's important. This last game that they got to play is very big. They got high rollers. They're attempting to lock up number one. I don't think Kenny's going to make it back this season. If he does come back, maybe in the Final Four, maybe in the chip if the team gets there.
And
I don't see him playing in the playoff game. Now, what this team cannot afford to do is have to play a wild card, which I doubt it. They're 6-2. I don't see them having to play. They're going to finish 1 or 3rd. But the key is this. I think without Kenny, SuperFriends can beat high rollers. They can't beat them getters. So it all depends on who they play in the first round of the playoffs. Let me say that again. I think without Kenny, SuperFriends cannot beat getters, but they can beat high rollers.
So you're saying that they're in between those two teams?
Yes. I believe so. Now, it's not about your talent. It's about having a leader that's on the field grinding with you and following what he say is different than when you have a leader from the sideline. Now, don't get me wrong. SuperFriends are good because they have Tone there. Tone is a great coach. He seen it all and been through it all. But it's different when you don't have your general, you know what I mean, your commander-in-chief out there grinding with you. It's different when he's on the sideline. And energy and plays that you need, he cannot make. That is what I think is the difference. Can they do it? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to be more of a difficult task? Yes. Now, this is the big thing. If it gets further down and they meet Carver in the Final Four, if Carver gets out the division, beats Vales, or even wins the first round game, can SuperFriends beat Carver without a Kenny?
And that is a good question. The thing about it is they weren't able to beat them in the regular season with Kenny on the field.
Right.
So that is, again, it's debatable whether they'll be able to play the same way as they did when they first faced Carver. And even if he's not, even if he's there, will it even matter?
Right.
Because with their full team last year, they weren't able to beat Carver. So
Kenny can't blitz.
Yeah.
So he's a big-time blitzer. So now you got to pull Golo or B-Roy to blitz. That hurts your defense.
Yeah.
Prince Mo's not blitzing. He's not a blitzer.
No.
That's not what he does. It's either Kenny, Golo, or Prince, or Kenny, Golo, or B-Roy.
Well, there's also other guys that, that's been there.
Blitzes. Who? They got Pratt. He's not a big-time blitzer.
No.
You got
I mean, they got
Jigga. Jigga's not a. These guys do not blitz like Kenny. Kenny, Golo, and B-Roy are their blitzers.
But
by losing Kenny, now you got to blitz either with Golo or B-Roy, And now you lose one of them guys in defense.
And I'm just going to end it with this. It doesn't matter. I don't look at it as what a person can do and what they can't do. When they have to do it, they're going to have to pull through. They have to. So somebody has to step up and fill those shoes and make those plays.
Right.
It doesn't matter who it is. They need somebody to step up now. Their captain is not there. Their blitz is not there. Somebody's going to step it up because they know they have to.
And we're going to have to see. Like I said, that's a devastating injury if that's really what it is. That's what I've been told. You know what I mean? We don't know how severe the injury is. He definitely got injured in City Island. We don't know how severe it is. A couple weeks can turn into the season. We're going to have to see. You know what I mean? But he's a baller, and one thing that helps Kenny is he plays tackle. Mm-hmm. So he's dealt with injuries. So it's he can get past it. It just depends on how far back he's going to come. I think they'll be okay only because B-Roy been playing great this year. He's definitely an all-star this year. And they got other guys that's able to step up. The Mace deal is a big deal, but I think them picking up Alex is huge now because he is going to help the offense not skip a beat. The only problem that I have is the guys getting on Dion. It's harder for them to listen to Kenny from the sideline than when he's on the field.
And that's going to be the problem that they have because Dion is a person he's a quarterback that's hard to control even when they are on the field. So to be on the sideline and try to talk him from the sideline is that much more difficult. And we'll just have to see how that goes because, again, Dion's one of those guys where you don't know which one you're going to see.
Right.
So that's their burden to bear when they go on the field.
So we're going to wrap it up. Much love to y'all guys. See y'all next week live. And we out of here. Stephen J. Ghost. You was wrong a lot, Jay. That's from Mace. I'm never wrong. Stephen J. I'm out of here. Much love. Keep the comments coming. I'll talk to y'all later. Next game up, CMM versus Carver Mobb. CMM is coming in 1-5-1 as Carver comes in 5-1. The crazy thing about it is both teams similar in name, but, obviously this season they're not similar in play.
And maybe because one is a championship team and one is an up-and-coming team. So, obviously, there's very big differences. One has the best quarterback in TFL, and one has an upcoming quarterback, All of these guys are young, guys that most people aren't familiar with in TFL. And on the other side, you have stars that already made their name known, that most teams already know who they are, and guys who have a lot of accolades under their belt, unlike the other team. And
CMM main issue is they lost their best player. Arbery's gone. Arbery went back to school. He was leading the team in picks, leading the team in touchdowns. And without them, how do you come up with a win versus the defending 3-time champions and your best player is not here? And their starting quarterback is not here. That's going to be an issue. We're going to have to see how they come away with it because this team is in trouble. First down, Chuck gets blitzed and sacked by Ramon. Taking this to second down. Second down, Chuck throws the cable in the middle. Nice game, picking up the first down. After a few plays, 3rd and goal, Chuck finds Butter in the corner end zone for the touchdown. 6-0. That dude, Butter, that boy good because he's been doing this all year.
Listen, and he's been one of the main playmakers for this team. He's been getting open, giving Chuck a easy target to go to, and he's been consistent all the way throughout the season. So at the end of the day, this guy is a person who's up and coming. Yeah. He's a person that you need to remember his name because you're going to see more of him in the future. After getting the first down, 3rd down, Hansel throws to Baba in the gap. Nice gain. CMM can't get nothing else. They're going to have to punt. 3rd down, Chuck on 4 rush with blocker from Ricky. Throws deep to a wide open Butt in the gap. Big gain, picking up the first down. If you look here, the safety steps up, leaving Butter open. And this is great blocking by Ricky. Ricky's finally back. He's healthy. He has to be up there for blocker of the year. He's giving G a run for his money. And them scoring more points makes it look better for him. Chuck with a pass to Cable in the gap for a decent game. Second down, Chuck on 4 rush finds Cable in front of the end zone for the touchdown. Angel gets a 2-point conversion. 14-zip. CMM is in trouble. And they can't stop Carver Mobb at this point. Right now, Ricky is giving Chuck all the protection that he needs. They don't have nobody that can rush and put pressure on the quarterback. Ever since that one sack, they've been figuring out how to stop CMM's pass rush, they've been effective. Chuck has been comfortable in the pocket, and they've been scoring ever since.
First down, Hansel gets blitzed and sacked by Ricky. Second down, Hansel throws deep to his receiver in the gap. Overthrown, picked off by Jalen, who cuts to the sideline, runs it all the way back for the touchdown. If you look here, Jalen is also running out the clock. Then finally scores. Butter gets the extra point. 21-0. Now it's a laugher. And CMM looks like they're ready to give up. They throwing in the towel. They putting up the flags. They bring it down on stage. They whatever you want to call it, whatever end comes up with ending and quitting.
The curtain call.
This team looks like they are there.
Listen, at the end of the day, in their mindset, what else can they do? All of their stars are not here. Their quarterback's not here. Their main star is not here, and they're facing the three-time champs. So they have no way of competing. But this is not the play that you should see from a team that's in this league trying to fight to get where they need to go.
On the kickoff, Ramon gets the ball. He pitches it to Jonathan, who tries to pitch it back. It's tipped and recovered by Happy, giving Carver the ball right back. I don't know what's going on with CMM. They look terrible right now, and hopefully Carver don't score another touchdown. Second down, Chuck on 4 rush, throws to Dre in the back of the end zone, picked off by Jonathan, taking us into the half, 21-0. And I guess CMM decided to make a play. They got a pick. Wow, I didn't think they were alive. I was about to check their pulse. I thought they were dead.
I think it was because that drive was a little too easy for Carver Mobb, and they end up not taking it seriously, and end up turning over the ball there by throwing an interception. They got the ball back way too easy. I don't know what CMM was thinking with that pitch back on a live play of all things. They needed to drive down the field. They took a risk on that play, and Carver Mobb capitalized.
If I'm CMM, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and saying, I'm a man like them. One thing somebody is not going to do is outwork me. You may be more talented than me. You may have more experience than me. You may have more championships that I could dream about. But you're never going to outwork me. CMM is being outworked. They look intimidated. They look like they're scared. And I'm very disappointed in their play the first half.
And for Carver Mobb, I'm sure they're not looking to insult the other team. But right now they're looking at this team as one stop before their destination. That like if you're on a train and you make multiple stops, whatever, this is just one stop in their destination, their route to get where they're going. And this team represents one of those stops. So they're looking to play, take advantage of everything that they give them, and come home with a win. It looks like they're getting it done right now.
Second down, CMM go with a new quarterback on 4 rush. He's going to throw to the receiver in the gap. Picked off by Ricky, giving the ball back to Carver Mobb. Second down, Chuck throws to Chulo, open on the sideline for the touchdown. Drew gets the extra point. It's 28-0. Now it's a laugher.
And right there, as bad as their defense has been playing, CMM I'm talking about, they play even worse here by leaving Chulo, a tight end that's not even known to be, a main offensive threat. They leave him wide open on the sideline for an easy touchdown there. That shows that their defense is falling apart by the seams as we speak. As the game moves forward, they get worse and worse. It seems like their morale is broken, and they just want it all to end.
Third down, the quarterback throws deep in the gap, picked off by Dre, giving the ball back to Carver Mobb. Carver Mobb evidently runs the clock out. They're going to win this game 28-0 with a blowout win over CMM.
And obviously, this team hasn't been the same without their star, Arbley.
Yep.
Yes, they don't have their quarterback, Jesus, but I think that losing Arbley was more detrimental for this team because their heart and soul is gone. And they're trying to find their identity again. He was their leader. He was a person that, always led the charge in every game. He was always the one that made something happen to keep them in the game. And without that, they are a team in their eyes with no hope. But that's not the mentality I think this team should have right now.
Carver keeps the winning going. Another team in front of them. They wasn't trying to embarrass this team. But CMM practically gave points away. So if I'm CMM right now, that cowardly lion in Wizard of Oz? That's what they look like today. I've never seen this team play at a lower focus than versus anybody this season. One thing CMM is known about is they will give you everything that they got. This game, they look flat. They looked like they did not want to be here. And right now, it was a waste of their time. And they can't even call themselves football players today. They were not. They didn't play like a team. They played like individuals. They played scared. And they need to turn it around if they want to make the decision in the playoffs. Because in the first round, if they get out, there's no wild card in their division.
Yeah.
They're going to have to play who? Carver Mobb in the first round. So what do you do now?
Yeah.
You wrap up the season?
Yeah.
Might as well just say, you know what? It was a good run. This team needs to look at themselves in the mirror. They're off this week. Their season is done. They're going to be back for the playoffs, and they better be prepared because if not, Carver may not even let Chuck throw this game in the playoffs because they don't worry about anything that CMM could do.
Listen, in all honesty, if they don't let Chuck throw in the playoff game, let's just say that happens. CMM should take that as a compliment. Listen, it doesn't matter if Chuck is there or not.
As a compliment?
Listen to what or not as a compliment.
Why would you take it as a compliment?
Okay, compliment is the wrong word. But
insult.
You should take it as not
disrespect.
Only insult, but I would take it as an opportunity. Why? Because if Chuck is not there, you have even more of a chance to win in the playoff. If they don't take you seriously in a playoff game,
I don't know what this dude is talking about.
Listen,
I don't know what he's talking about. He's trying to say that if Carver don't have Chuck throw against CMM, CMM has a chance. Joey can throw against CMM the way CMM looked today. I can throw against CMM the way CMM could do. The cameraman could throw against CMM the way it looked today.
Listen to my point.
They had listen, it doesn't matter who they play. If they show the effort that they showed today against Carver Mobb, the defending 3-time champs, if you don't wake up to play the 3-time champs to make a point, then you might as well just stay home. And I'm going to wrap it up at that.
But my issue with this, and I'm just going to say this, just because they played horrible today doesn't mean that it's definite that they're going to play the same way in the playoffs. Hopefully they wake up and they look at this game and see all the mistakes that they make and they see the mentality that they had in this game and improve and flip that on the opposite side in order to play this game. Because obviously, regardless if Carver Mobb takes them serious or not, this team still has to play Carver Mobb.
And I'm going to get a lotto ticket because I'm not going to bet the farm hoping that this team going to play any better than they played now because of lack of effort. You can't teach effort. If these guys ain't here to play, they're not going to play. We're going to wrap it up. Carver Mobb with the blowout win 28-0 over CMM. We'll be right back. Real Tough Talk. Next game up, Wildcats versus the High Rollers. Now, this is going to be a one straight half game. High Rollers asked for an early game, barely got there on time, barely had enough guys to play. And they're playing a Wildcats team who's here, ready to go. And one thing about Wildcats, they got some ball players. They got some guys that can play. You know what I mean? So High Rollers need this game, and it don't look like they're equipped to play it.
And, obviously the quarterback that's going to be playing in this game, that's going to be starting for this team, is enough to know that they're shorthanded, that they don't have most of their guys here, and that they're just trying to get through the game. I don't think they're worried too much about this game. The fact that they don't have most of their guys, they're just trying to make it through, so that they don't forfeit the game.
Right.
But, I don't think they're making any promises that they're going to play at their highest level.
We're going to jump right into the game. Chris throws to Chalo for a nice game, picking up the first down. After a few short passes on 4th and goal at the 5-yard line, Chris throws to Kamar on the back of the end zone. Kamar makes a catch, can't keep both feet in, turnover on downs. What do you think about this?
And yes, he was out of bounds on this play. He only got one foot in and the other foot was out. The ref was standing right there, so he had a good look. But if you look at his feet right here, yes, he was out of bounds in this play. That's close. They did drive down the field. It was close, but no cigar. They got to try again.
Mestre is going to get the start for High Rollers. Second down, Mestre throws it Tim in the gap. Tip picked off by Will, giving the ball back to Wildcats. Will has been playing good this season.
Yeah.
He said put respect on his name, which is what everybody says now.
Yeah.
But he's been playing good. I know he gets lost when we talk about Monster, we talk about Mike.
Yeah.
He's been playing well this season.
Yeah.
Great play by him on the interception.
And they need more guys like that on this team to step up and play because they have a lot of, a lot of names on this team that are potential playmakers, but they just not consistent. Will is one of those guys that's been stepping up as the season went along, and you've been hearing this name more and more. If they can hear that from a lot more guys on their team, I think this team is going to surprise a lot of people in the playoffs.
4th down, after a few short plays, Chris throws it up in the end zone, picked off by Rubio, giving the ball right back to High Rollers. And this Chris has thrown too many interceptions. This is his 13th interception of the season. Way too many. Gives the ball right back to High Rollers.
Well, I don't see him breaking any records this season, but
and
at
the record
same
is
time,
26 by Buck.
But at the same time, 13 is not a good number, and it's pretty much one of the higher numbers of the season. So that's not a good number if you're going to move forward. If you're planning on surviving the wild card or anything like that, you can't have a quarterback throwing that many interceptions because you're pretty much going to be one and done.
He's a decent quarterback. He just makes bad mistakes at times. First down, Menstry on 4 rush, rolls right, throw the Ed in the gap for a decent gain. Second down, Menstry on 4 rush, falls and is sacked by Chulo. Third down, Menstry is blitzed and sacked by Sean. High Rollers have to punt. 4th and goal after a few short plays. Chris finds Kamal on the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0 Wildcats take the lead. Kamal is not what we thought he was going to be. The guy was playing great early in the season. As the season started going, he has not been scoring. He's not been really getting the ball like we expected him to. And that right now is his 3rd touchdown of the season. And we expected him to go more. He hasn't.
Well, one thing I noticed with Kamal is he's dropped a lot of passes in the mid-season. I mean, passes that were big, some touchdown passes, whatever. I've seen Kamal drop those passes, and I think that hurt his play, getting towards the end of the latter end of the season. And that's why you haven't heard his name so much, because when the ball was thrown to him, he dropped it.
Second down, Tim comes in to throw. He throws it up in the gap. Tip picked off by Monster, giving the ball back to Wildcats. That's Monster's 3rd pick of the year. He's been playing good. He definitely should be an all-star. He brings the energy, he brings the passion, and that's a great interception by him.
And he's one person I could say for this team, he is their fighter. He's one person that's always fighting. Well, it doesn't matter who it is. Sometimes he fights his own teammate. Not literally, but he's gets into a shouting match with them. But he is their fighter. He has fire in his heart. Every time he gets on the field, you got to respect that, especially the way he's been playing hard this season.
After a few short plays to get to the first down, Wildcats are stopped at the 30, turnover on down. Tim gets the ball. First down, he throws to John on the sideline, picked off by Mike, giving the ball right back to Wildcats. And Mike has been the other guy on this team. That's Mike's 4th interception of the year. He already got 1 for a touchdown. He's been playing good. Him and Monster's been playing great this year. Him, Monster, Will, you got to give these guys some respect. Great play by Mike.
And one thing I could say about Wildcats, they don't always score too many points, but one thing I could say is their defense comes out to play.
Yes, sir.
And when you have guys like him, when you got guys like him, Monster, Will, Sean, all of these guys coming out and playing hard, their defense to pay attention to for any offense.
Chris with 2 passes, Sean in the gap for a nice gain. Last down, Chris is blitzed by Menstray. Throws it to Kamal on the back of the end zone. Kamal makes the catch, stays in bounds for the touchdown. 12-0. Wildcats take the lead. The question was Chris tagged before he got the ball off? That was the question.
And on this one here, it's a close call. Obviously, we always look at the camera, and if we have to really pull out the camera to slow it down,
you can't say that about the ref.
But I think right here, he did get the tag on the quarterback right before he threw it.
If they challenged that in the playoffs, you said they would have got it.
They would have got the sack.
12-0 anyway. Right now, Wildcats with the lead. After getting the first down, Tim throws the end in the gap for a decent gain. After another short pass, last down, Tim with blocking scrambles and throws the Ruby on the corner of the end zone. Short turnover on downs. Wildcats cannot score, and they're going to have to punt. High Rollers can't score before the time runs out. Wildcats end up with the win, 12-0. Great game by them, and now they're preparing themselves for the playoffs. Great win.
And regardless of who they saw in front of them, they played the game seriously. Chris was able to score some points, connected with Kamal and both those touchdown passes. Kamal finally coming down with the ball. He had some struggles in the middle of the season, dropping a lot of passes. Right. And you see Mike, Will, and Monster stepping up on defense.
Exactly.
So when you have these guys stepping up on defense and making plays like this, that can keep you in any game, no matter what team you face. And I think that they need to keep that intensity up throughout going into the playoffs.
And High Rollers, I mean, they fall to 5-3 with 1 game left, and now they got the SuperFriends. The thing about it, had they won this game, they would have been 6-2, tied with them Getters. So, you know, they got to be mad at themselves. They had an opportunity to be not only tied with them Getters, they could have been tied with SuperFriends. Mm-hmm. And then if they beat SuperFriends, they would take number 1, number 2, the lowest. But, you know, not a good look for them. They barely had anybody here. I hope they're ready. They got a big game this Sunday versus SuperFriends.
And that's the game I'm sure that most of the guys are going to show up for. They weren't really worried too much about this game, obviously, because they kind of looked at the team knowing that they were struggling, that it didn't really hurt their standings too much. So they didn't really pay too much mind to this game. They just wanted to get through it. But the next game, I'm pretty sure all of the guys are going to be there for it.
We're going to Wildcats with the win over High Rollers 12-zip. We're going to be right back with Real Tough Talk. Next game up, YMM versus 99 Problems. Now, this is a big game for YMM. If they can win, they just lost their last game versus Rep City. Mm-hmm. So they really need this game if they want to jump back into the division right now in the Eastern Conference 1. And
they have an opportunity. This is one game that they have to get through in order to do so. So I'm sure they're going to take this game seriously. They can come out striking right off the bat because they want to keep the momentum throughout. They don't want to give any opportunity for the other team to get into this game. And that's going to be the strategy they're going to have right off the gate.
99 Problems trying to lock up the number 1 seed. So if they can lock this game up, remember, Never Scared just won 2 games. They need to win this game, and they'll go to 4-2 rather than they'll go to 5-2 while Never Scared is 4-4. So they gotta win this game, gotta find a way. Right now, they've been playing the best, most consistent in this division, but every team has no less than 3 losses. Mm-hmm. So you got them with 3.
Crazy division.
Yeah, so you have them with 3, Never Scared with 4, ILD with 4, Dutchmen right now with 3, and with 4, and Brotherhood with 6. So anything can happen in these divisions. We're gonna jump right,
except for the Brotherhood.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right into the game. Last down in the 50, Corey throws to Brandon in the gap. Brandon pulls the ball with one hand with a decent catch for the first down. That is a top 5 nominee. Great play by Brandon. He's been playing good this season. Not as well as we expected him to, but that's not because of him. Corey hasn't really got that comfortable with him, but he makes a great play here.
And he's been emerging towards the end of the season as a playmaker. He hasn't been getting the ball, like you said, from Corey because they haven't connected so far. But it seems like Brandon's name is being called. He's being a target for Corey, and Corey's getting in the ball that much more.
Corey gets blitzed by Javon, throws it to Tim in the middle for a nice gain. Third down, Corey throws deep to X, cut it in front of the end zone for the touchdown. Tim gets the extra point, 8-zip, YMM with the lead.
That is a great pass by Corey, taking and making that nice pass there for the touchdown, not trying to take his time, going right for it. He sees X open, and he makes that pass.
After getting the first down, Crazy throws a jail in the gap. Picked off by Jeremy, giving the ball back to YMM. If you look here, Cole was open short. This is something we don't usually see Casey do, but that's a bad pass. The best safety in the game is going to get an interception. Jeremy with the pick.
And right there, you haven't heard Jeremy's name in a long time, but obviously here you see him step up because this game is big. They're trying to survive in the standings right there in the division. So all of their guys have to pull out the stops. You see Jeremy stepping up, making a great defensive play here, taking advantage of Casey's mistake.
Second down, Corey throws deep to Brown on the sideline, who runs for a big gain, picking up the first down. Second down on the drive, Corey throws deep to Tim in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. The question was Tim inbounds? 14-0 YMM with the lead.
And I'm going to say yes, but it's going to be hard to show it to you. I'm going to show you on the camera. You have other defenders in front of Tim. Tim is in the back of the end zone here. But if you see his foot here, I'm going to guide you through it. You see one foot here as soon as he grabs the ball, and then you see the other foot comes down before he goes out of bounds. So yes, that is a catch. That is a touchdown. That is an accurate throw by Corey, getting it there where only Tim could get it, and Tim is able to stay inbounds for the touchdown.
After a short pass, Casey throws to Javon in the middle, picked off again by Jeremy. YMM gets the ball back, and these are 2 mistakes by KC. There's no way you should be trying to attack Jeremy. I know he probably saw the video when Riot Squad went against them, but Lou is a much better player than Javon is. Lou's more physical going for the ball. I think he has better hands. And Jeremy was waiting for Casey to make the throw. Casey obliges and throws the second pick of the game.
And right now, Casey is not looking good at all. This is probably starting to become one of Casey's worst games this season, at startup at least, because this is still the first half, and you see Casey throwing 2 horrible passes to the same person. This is not Casey football right here.
After getting the first down, Corey throws deep to Jeremy toward the sideline. Incomplete. If you look here, Shannon gets flagged for pass interference, and Shannon's arguing. Was it a pass interference? What do you think?
And I would say on this one, yes.
It was. I think so
early.
too.
Shannon got there early. He put his hands on the player before he had an opportunity to get the ball. Before the ball came down, Shannon was already there. Just a little too early, and that is why he earned the flag.
He's arguing, going crazy. The guys are arguing, going crazy. The refs always jerk them. The refs always that. And if you look here, the call was right. Shannon made contact with the receiver while the ball was in the air, and that's a good call. Third down, Corey finds X in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Ruben gets a 2-point conversion, taking us into the half, 22-0. Corey's finding X. He's getting comfortable with X. X is finally back and healthy. He's making plays. This Wyman offense is dangerous, 22-0.
And they already took control of the game, and I think that 99 is in trouble. They're busy fighting each other instead of fighting YMM right now. So they got to figure what's going on, what they're doing wrong. They got to have a better offensive strategy. KC is struggling out there. They also got to get him more time. Obviously, something's not working because Casey's not known to throw 2 interceptions in the first half. They got to fix it and fix it fast.
If I'm YMM, I'm fine with this. We're going to keep the points coming. We're trying to blow this team out the building, blow them out the water. We're doing what we got to do. Jeremy with 2 great picks, and we're proving that we're still the defending Eastern Conference champs. We went to the dance last year, and we're showing this team why. We're going to jump right into the second half. Third down, Casey throws a drain in the middle for a nice game, picking up the first. Second down, Casey throws a Javon in the middle for a decent game. Next play, Casey with a quick hike throws a Dre in the back of the end zone. Tipped by Santana, caught by Dre for the touchdown. Shannon gets a 2-point conversion, 22-8. We're trying to strike and claw back.
And right now they're starting to get together and they're starting to move the ball here. He has to get the ball to Shannon a lot more if they're going to be able to come back in this game. Because Shannon is one person that's still elusive. He's going to get through the defense. Casey has to use him to get his momentum back, and if he doesn't do that, he's going to keep turning over the ball.
But they got to find another weapon other than Shannon. We've seen him rely a little too much on Shannon. Teams are starting to focus on him, and that's why these mistakes are happening. Jeremy comes in to throw. He gets blitzed by Dre and sacked by Junior. After 2 short passes, Jeremy throws deep to Santana in the end zone, picked off by Shannon, giving the ball back to 99. And my question with Caesar is, why? What are you doing? The game is not over. I don't think Corey's hurt. I know they got another game they're worrying about City Island, but let's submit this game. One more score would have put them away. You put Jeremy in, he gets sacked, and then throws an interception, and we're giving the team that just scored momentum.
And this is not the time that you want to give the team an opportunity to come back in this game. You already have the game won at this point. Don't give them any favors by throwing interceptions and taking risks that you don't need. Run the ball if you have to, but don't give them easy interceptions here.
Casey on second down throws to Javon in the middle for a nice game. Casey on 4 rush gets sacked by Brandon. After getting the first down, 4 rush, Casey runs for a decent game. After a few more yards, they can't get the score, turnover on downs, and that's a big stop by YMM. They're already down 22-8. They had to find a way to score, and they couldn't, and they got to be disappointed in that drive. Third down, Jeremy throws a Brandon in the gap for a decent gain. Fourth down near the 50, Jeremy throws a Sesto in the middle. Incomplete, turnover on downs. And Jeremy does not look like he's in the zone throwing this game. I know they're up 22-8, but he just does not look comfortable making mistakes here, and they turn over the ball.
And right now, the rhythm was never on his side. It was on Corey's side, and when they put Jeremy in to rest Corey, I think that's what threw everything off, because Jeremy did not warm up for this to throw in this game. He was not prepared, and that is why right now he's not connecting with his guys. He's not being accurate, and all he's doing is turning over the ball.
Casey with blocking from Cole, throws to Javon on the sideline for a nice gain. Casey with a quick throw to Shannon for a decent gain. Casey finds Shannon in the front of the end zone for the touchdown, 22-14. They're trying to crawl back and maybe a little too late, but great play by Shannon. He's been doing everything for this team. 22-14.
Well, you're the one who said that they shouldn't keep going at Shannon. Right now, I see that he is their only glimmer of hope at this point. They've been going to him, and it's been working. So now they got to find a way to get the ball back. Obviously, the time is running out. Try your best to go on side and see what happens. But right now, Shannon was supposed to take over this game a long time ago. It seems like he got that memo now.
99 has to stop the first down. After a few plays, Jeremy throws a Rico on the sideline, picking up the first down, ending the game. YMM with the win, 22-14.
And YMM got what they needed to do done. Corey was able to drive down the field easily in three drives and score points quickly to cement the game before the second half even came. So that's great offense by YMM, scoring more than the regular UFL average and keeping the other team out of the game regardless of what happened after.
99 Problems. I love their second half. They play hard the second half. But they got to be able to turn it up the first half. Casey threw 2 critical interceptions. Definitely kind of hurt them in the first half. And they got to get another guy besides Shannon. Shannon's doing a little bit of everything. And in the playoffs, teams are going to focus on him. You add teams taking him out of the game. You add that nobody's going to kick to him no more. And you add the 99 were one of the worst offensive lines in the league. And they got problems. So get me wrong. They find ways to win. If they need to build off of the second half, they turned up in the second half, and they look like they could be any team in the East the way they played the second half. They need to keep that play, and Casey cannot throw these costly interceptions. If they keep it that way, they're definitely locked for number 1 seed in this division, and I think they'll be okay.
And the main thing is Casey starting off so slow, starting off with those 2 interceptions. That's something that you never see Casey do. I think that if he didn't have such a slow start, such a struggling start, they would have had a better chance in this game. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. And, that's something that they need to learn from moving forward.
We're going to wrap up this game, 22-14, YMM with the win over 99 Problems. We're going to be right back. Real Tough Talk. Next game up, Dutchmen versus the Browns. The Browns are coming in 3-3. Kind of the bottom of their division, but they always are able to turn it around. They got Lindy late in the season. So if Lindy can, ball out and do what this team needs to do, minimize his turnovers and put up points, I think they'll be all right with that great defense. Dutchmen come in 1-4-1. Haven't really been playing their top game that they expected to. They're still new to the league, still getting used to the rules. And once this team get going, I think they'll be okay. But this is a game that they got to have.
Well, with the Dutchmen, they've had an inconsistency in quarterback. At the quarterback position, with White not being here in all of their games, they had other people substitute. But even when White was here, a lot of times he had problems forcing passes and turning over the ball. So when he would make one play, he would make 2 bad ones, and that is one of the things that reflects on their record.
We're going to jump right into the game. White on 4 rush, throws to Chris on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first. White scrambles with blocker from Baby, throws to Millie, tipped by 50, picked off by G Black, giving the ball back to the Browns. Great play by the Browns. This is the Browns defense that we remember. Great play by them.
One thing I can say about the Browns, like you just said, they lock up on defense no matter what the game they're playing in. And early in the season, they didn't have a quarterback, but they were still able to lock up on defense and keep most teams to within 6 points. So that is impressive defense, and that's defense of whatever your team is, you got to watch out for them.
Lonnie with 3 plays, nice game, picking up the first down. Lonnie on 4 rush gets sacked by Mikey. 3rd down, Lonnie gets blitzed by Isaiah. Throws it sleep in the middle, low, incomplete. Browns have to punt. Isaiah is a pass rushing animal. He was one of the best pass rushers in the UFL league. Showing the pressure there, forcing Lonnie to try to make a forced pass, and they have to punt. Great play by Isaiah.
And Isaiah's been balling out this season, especially on defense. He's been doing it on both sides of the field, but I've been hearing his name called more on defense, pressuring the quarterback, guarding the middle, locking up on receivers that cut through the middle. So he's been one of their main defenders on the Dutchmen, keeping things alive as long as he possibly can. But that's great play by Isaiah.
Dutchmen can't do nothing. They're going to end up punting. Browns can't do nothing. They punt the ball back. Whites get the ball back for the Dutchmen. On 3rd down, he throws the Baby in the gap for a decent gain. Last down at the 50, White on 4 rush, throws Isaiah in the sideline, decent game, picking up the first. White throws to Chris in the gap, knocked away by G-Man. By G-Black. Dutchmen wanted a pass interference, came from behind. I don't think you throw that flag. I think he got there too quick. He knocked the ball down as he made the contact. It was bang, bang,
well,
same
he kind
time.
of reached from behind him.
Right.
So when you reach from behind him, it's almost like you're being boxed out on defense. I mean,
Right.
in basketball.
Right.
When you're in position and you try to come from behind,
Right.
that's a foul. So, to the ref, he didn't see that there was enough contact to throw the flag. But
Yeah,
I think I see somewhat of what the players are arguing about. But hey, they didn't get the flag. They just got to move on.
Next two plays are toss-ups, incomplete. Dutchman to have to punt. After two short plays, Lonnie throws a Trev in the middle for a nice game, picking up the first. Lonnie, last down, Lonnie tosses it up, picked off by Millie, taking us into the half. Zip, zip, halftime.
And right now, it's been defense and absolutely no offense.
No offense.
So right now, the story of the day is their defense on both sides. Dutchman is playing their hardest. Isaiah standing out on his team, trying to lead the charge on defense. And the Browns defense are right now the Browns defense. They always play hard, and they give quarterbacks problems. So one quarterback has to figure out what to do in this game if they're gonna end up winning.
After getting the first down, Lonnie throws the receiver in the gap for a decent game. The receiver's going to get injured and leave the game for a few plays. Second down, Lonnie gets blitzed by Isaiah. Throws the trap in the gap, picked off by Frank with nice blocking by Mike. Frank runs all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0. If you look here, A-How was open on the other side. And my problem with Lonnie is an Eli Manning. When the pressure comes forward, he tends to just force the ball. We've seen him do this in BQFL. He let the league run back interceptions. Now he has another one here in this league. That is a terrible throw. Isaiah with great blocking. With great rushing. They can't block him. Gooney cannot block Isaiah. No. He's been getting killed all game. And Lonnie throws a pick, but this one gets taken in the house. Great play by Frank. Follow his block, jump the route, and take it back for the touchdown.
And one thing, I'm going to say two things. First of all, Gooney is not that great of a blocker. A lot of guys has been getting through his blocking as of late, and it's been pressuring Lonnie and making him force throws. But that's still not an excuse. Lonnie here forced this throw to Trev, and Frank was able to read on it. If you look at this play, this is a play I've been talking about all season. When you see a quarterback get blitzed, his instinct is to throw it to the receiver that the blitzer leaves open, and that is Trev. Frankie, what he does is adjust to that receiver and cuts off the pass, and he's able to have a free release into the end zone. That is the defense I've been talking about. Frankie's one of the people that's finally listens, and he's able to get a pick six here.
Lonnie with a few passes for a decent game. Lonnie on second down is blitzed and sacked by Isaiah. Third down, Lonnie throws the receiver in the gap. Nice game. Browns get flagged for unnecessary roughness. What do you think?
And I think it was unnecessary because the play was pretty much over, and there was still contact after the play was made. So yes, it's a late hit, still unnecessary roughness. Same thing, and that's unfortunate for the Browns, but they do earn that flag.
Last down, Lonnie on 4 rush, throws a 50 in the corner end zone, knocked away, turnover and downs, giving it back to Dutchmen. Dutchmen can't do nothing, they're gonna have to punt. After getting the first down, Lonnie's blitzed by Isaiah, throws the receiver in the middle, high, picked off by Frank, who pitches it to Millie, running all the way to the end zone. Millie kills the clock before getting tagged at the 2, but there was a flag after the interception. We had holding, 2 flags on the play. Holding by the offense, and then we're gonna have taunting on the defense. So the touchdown will not score, but the interception will stand. Once again, the pressure comes to Lonnie. He forces a pass. The same player picks him off and gives him the ball.
And that is unfortunate because the Dutchmen, if they didn't get a flag there, if they would have been able to score in this play, this game would pretty much be over. Now the Browns have an opportunity to lock up on defense, stop the Dutchmen, and come back in this game. But it's all easier said than done.
They're at the 2-yard line. White gets blitzed by A-High and sacked by Hector. White runs for a decent game on the next down. Last down, White throws to Chris in the back of the end zone. Drop, turnover and down. Scurrying during the pick may have ended the game. That is a great thing. Great defensive stand by the Browns. And my issue with Dutchmen is no Moses. They didn't throw to Moses all day. Yeah. We had a lot of matches where Moses had mismatches, and they did not get him involved. I don't know if they know Moses is a former UFL MVP of the league back when the league was in Brooklyn, but at the end of the day, they needed another receiver to get the ball to. They have another receiver there, Moses. they don't let them touch the football.
And right now, I don't see why they have anything to lose. I mean, Moses is there. He pretty much towers over most of the guys on the field. Even if you don't know this man, give him a chance. He's out there for a reason. Throw a pass to him. Maybe you get a tune with him. Maybe you get some rhythm going, whatever. But give him a chance. Just because you don't know somebody doesn't mean that he's not a target or a weapon that you can use against the other team.
Landy throws to Trav wide open in the gap, incomplete. Last play of the game, Landy throws a 50 for the first down, incomplete. Ending the game, 6-0. Dutchman comes away with the win.
And Dutchmen scraped by on pretty much defense because their offense was stagnant from the beginning to the end. But their defense locks up and they get 2 big interceptions to earn them the win, especially that one that led to a pick 6. So they've been playing defense. There was Reed and Landy. They played hard and they deserve this win here today.
And they can get right now. They're 2-4-1. ILD is 3-4. Never Scared is 4-4. They can get out that wild card spot. Right now they're in a wild card with Brotherhood. They can get out if they can win their next 2. If they win the next 2, they'll finish the season 4-1. And they need ILD to drop their last 2. And the thing about it is, their game next week is to ILD.
Yeah.
They need ILD to lose this game. This next game. If ILD wins, ILD will be 4-4. Dutchman win, Dutchman will be 3-4-1. If ILD beats Dutchman next week, they'll finish 4-4. No, they'll finish 5-4. If Dutchmen beat them, they'll finish 4-4-1. While ILD finishes 4-5, which will mean they'll take their spot. So they need to ILD to lose this week. ILD got Brotherhood.
Oh,
Brotherhood has an opportunity to upset them.
yeah, but none of us is gonna gamble and bet on the Brotherhood
Dutchman
in that game.
has to win their game this week versus Riot. Because if ILD wins, ILD will be 4-4. If Dutchman win, they'll be 3-4-1 coming into the last game of the season. That if Dutchman can beat them, they could take the number 3 seed.
And that's incredible, the way the divisions are stacked up, where anybody can take anything. All it takes is 1 win and 1 loss to adjust the standings. So I think that, it's exciting because I know that all the teams are going to play hard.
Best season ever in UFL.
Yes.
Has to be.
Most competitive by far.
Yep.
Because a lot of divisions, everything was up in the air. And that is why, UFL is a different animal when it comes to certain things, especially with the field as big as it is. And the cursing rule kind of comes out of nowhere and affects certain players a little more often than it should. So a lot of things can change regardless of what game or what team you play. And that's why the UFL is so competitive.
Well, we're going to wrap up the show right now. Another week in the books. Week 8?
Yes,
week 8.
Week 8.
1 week left. Next week is going to be a shorter week. I think we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 games. Short week. We'll get prepared for the playoff matchups. We'll let you know the matchups. We'll let you know the All-Stars. Not next week. The All-Star video will be out the following week. Probably the first round of the playoff video. You'll see the All-Star selections, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll get everything done. It's a lot of work, but we're here to work for y'all. We're out of here. Stephen J, partner Ghost. We're going to wrap up the show. We'll see you on the field Saturday, UFL Week 8. Dutchman comes over with the win over the Browns, 6-0. We're going to see you next week. Real Tough Talk. We out of here.